everyone, and welcome back to The Explainer. I'm Miss Miso, and I am so incredibly excited to be your guide today. We're going to be diving into the fascinating science behind that vibrant green superfood literally taking over the world right now, matcha.
So let's just jump right into the big question, shall we? Is matcha actually healthier than the regular green tea you've been casually sipping on for years? Like, why is it so incredibly, almost neon vibrant? And most importantly, what does the actual science say about the health benefits of this emerald powder? Well, grab a cup, because we're going to unpack the whole shebang today.
Section 1. What exactly is matcha? You know, while it definitely feels like a super trendy modern invention, especially when you see it in almost every coffee shop, matcha actually has some deeply traditional roots. We're talking centuries of Japanese tea ceremonies and Zen Buddhist history. And here's the wild part, it comes from the exact same Camellia sinensis plant as your everyday green tea. I mean, just think about that incredibly rich emerald green powder. It's almost hard to believe it comes from the same plant as that pale, watery steeped tea, right? The secret? It's literally all about how it's treated before it ever reaches your cup. Moving right along to section 2, from field to fine powder. Okay, to really get a grip on this, we've got to mentally head out into the tea fields. There are 5 critical steps in the cultivation process here. The plants are shade-grown, carefully harvested, steamed to stop any fermentation, dried out, and then finally ground down. Now, while all of these steps are absolutely crucial, it's actually that very first step, the shading, that completely changes the game. That is what boosts the plant's beneficial compounds straight up to superfood status. Picture those tea plants sitting under dark netting suspended right above the farmers. That's the shade cloth. By covering the tea plants for several weeks right before they're harvested, the plants are forced to work way harder to survive in that lower light. And because they're working overtime, it drastically increases their production of chlorophyll and antioxidants. That right there is exactly what gives the leaves that intense, undeniably gorgeous dark green color. So after those shade-grown leaves are picked, steamed, and dried, they go through this really beautiful physical transformation. Traditionally, they're slowly, carefully stone ground into an ultra-fine emerald powder. And this specific grinding process, that is exactly what sets up the massive nutritional difference between matcha and your standard steeped green tea. Which brings us to section 3, the science of super green. Let's break down how this works on a molecular level. Think about it. When you drink regular green tea, you just steep the leaves in hot water to extract a few nutrients, and then, well, you throw the leaves right in the trash. But with matcha, because it's been stone ground, you're whisking the entire leaf right into your water and consuming the whole thing, meaning you are ingesting a vastly higher concentration of all those amazing plant nutrients. You're getting everything. So, what does this actually mean for your daily energy levels? Well, if we look at the data, matcha kind of hits the Goldilocks zone of the caffeine spectrum. A standard cup of green tea is going to give you about 23 to 49 milligrams of caffeine. Coffee? That jumps way up to somewhere between 100 and 120 milligrams. But matcha lands beautifully right in the middle, sitting between 38 and 89 milligrams. It gives you this really highly balanced energy boost. Honestly, it's an absolute game changer if you're trying to ditch those awful coffee jitters. And again, because you're drinking the whole leaf, you are treating yourself to a massive dose of powerful antioxidants. We are talking seriously high levels of catechins, polyphenols, chlorophyll, and quercetin. These are the hardworking little compounds that are in your body around the clock, neutralizing those unstable free radicals and protecting your cells from oxidative stress. It's kind of like a microscopic internal cleanup crew. Let's move on to section 4, brain and body benefits. Now that we know what's actually hiding inside the powder, let's explore how these molecules play with our physiology. One of the absolute most fascinating compounds naturally found in matcha is L-theanine. This amino acid is, well, it's brilliant. Inside your brain, L-theanine actually teams up with that moderate dose of caffeine we just talked about. So instead of that crazy spike and sudden crash you get with standard caffeine, L-theanine smooths the whole curve right out. It promotes this wonderful state of calm alertness, really dialing in your concentration and attention span. Literally, it is the perfect beverage if you're settling in for some deep work or an intense study session. And it goes way beyond just the brain. Matcha's compounds, like those catechins and the bioflavonoid rutin, offer some pretty incredible support for the rest of your body too. Research is actually suggesting that these anti-inflammatory polyphenols might help lower that bad LDL cholesterol, support healthy blood pressure, and maybe even improve insulin sensitivity, which is super important because it helps your body regulate blood sugar way more efficiently. Now, of course, as your enthusiastic but responsible host, I do have to point out that scientists are still rigorously studying these long-term impacts on humans, but, the current data, it's looking really, really promising. Let's wrap things up with section 5, perfect preparation and recipes. Okay, so how do we actually apply all this cool science to our daily morning routines? Well, you're going to want to pay close attention to this next part, because it's a huge rookie mistake. Antioxidants are highly sensitive to heat. Literally, if you take away just one practical tip from this entire explainer, please let it be this. Pouring rapidly boiling water straight over your premium matcha can literally destroy the delicate compounds we just spent all this time learning about. No way do you want to do that. always use warm, just lightly steaming water to protect and preserve all those natural health benefits. When you do prep it correctly, the versatility of this stuff is just mind-blowing. You can go for the beautiful, grounding simplicity of traditional whisked matcha in a bowl, which is earthy, rich, and classic, or you can easily blend it up into a creamy, modern latte complete with gorgeous foam art. It completely adapts to whatever vibe you're going for that day. And hey, remember, matcha definitely isn't just a beverage. It can be seamlessly integrated into your actual food too. You can toss a scoop into your morning green smoothie, stir it into some yogurt, mix it up into a vinaigrette for a salad, or, my personal favorite, bake it into some delicious cakes and sweet treats. It is an incredibly dynamic ingredient to keep around the kitchen. Which naturally brings us to our final thought for today. Look, while matcha is absolutely packed to the brim with fascinating science-backed plant compounds, we've always got to remember that no single food is a magic miracle cure. True holistic health, it's always about balance, right? So knowing what you know now about the whole shade-grown science of these amazing little leaves, how are you going to experiment with matcha in your own routine? Thank you guys so much for learning along with me today. I'm Miss Misso, and I will catch you next time on The Explainer.